everybody. Welcome to the first episode of the BizMagic Podcast. I'm here to share my expertise and solopreneur journey to help business owners find the magic in their businesses by being more productive, focused, and successful. Today, I'm simply here to welcome you to the podcast and let you know what to expect in the future, as well as a little bit about what led me here. So I'm going to dive right in and get started. But what if you don't want to hear about how I got here and you just want to start watching or listening? That's totally fine. I've already posted the first full episode of the podcast, so feel free to stop right here and dive in. I'll see you in the first episode. For those of you with a little more time who want to hear more and know if this is for you, let's go a little deeper. A few months back, a friend and fellow solopreneur and I decided to start a video podcast where we talked about all the things we learned as we grew our own businesses and the things we were still learning, while also sharing our favorite tips and tools that we use to increase our business success, productivity, and efficiency. After about 6 episodes of the podcast called Bloom Your Biz Podcast, my co-host had some things shift and was no longer able to do the podcast with me. After a brief hiatus and reassessment, I realized that I simply loved doing the podcast and sharing not only the things I've learned with other like-minded and growing entrepreneurs and solopreneurs, but I loved sharing my journey. No one is a complete expert in all areas of entrepreneurship. And so I want to continue sharing what I've learned and sharing my journey with you. So that means that some of the things I'll be sharing with you will include my favorite software and online tools, tips on productivity, conversations about creating content for your website and social media, great ways to optimize your time on a regular basis, the importance of self-care as entrepreneurs, and so much more. I will also invite other successful, burgeoning, and even struggling entrepreneurs and solopreneurs to join me for guest spots on the podcast, since we all become better when we're together. I'll also be listening to your feedback and questions to give you the information you want and need the most. Now that you know what to expect in future episodes and how the idea for this podcast began, let me tell you a quick little bit about myself. I'm Patty Meyer, the founder of BizMagic. I've always loved being behind the scenes. That started when I was a theater techie in high school and continued to grow as I moved into other forms of businesses. I found myself in management in my early positions and loved learning the hows and whys of business success. I worked with corporations and nonprofits and entrepreneurs, learning everything I could about what makes businesses tick. I fell in love with entrepreneurship and have been successfully helping entrepreneurs be more effective, efficient, and successful for many years. This is what I continue to do today with BizMagic. I take care of the tedious tasks and specialized skills for entrepreneurs so they can focus on their customers and clients, spending time with their friends and families, and getting back to doing what they love and loving what they do. And all that leads to right here, right now with you. I hope I can offer some great value in the BizMagic podcast. If you have any questions that you would like to see me discuss in future episodes of the podcast, please head over to bizmagic.co/podcast and click on Ask a Question. And if you'd like to be a guest on the show, you can also do that in the same place by clicking on Be a Guest. Thank you so much for joining me, and please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Then you can join me for my first full episode of the podcast, which is available right now, where I tell you about my favorite tips for clearing your computer's clutter while working. Come check it out. Till then, keep the magic in your biz.